Hey guys, so before I start part two of my interview with Rich Klein, I just want to address a couple of things. I know that in part one, there was a few of you that seemed to be elated with the interview, thinking that this was perhaps some type of death blow behind what I do. But I found myself having to quote YouTuber because I'm Carlos when he says, on a more serious note, I just want to say that I would never get offended by being evaluated, challenged, and pushed by someone as qualified as Rich Klein. What he gave me was pure feedback. Now, I don't agree with the just let everything be a rookie card concept because I find that concept to be more corporate ideology. So I have to respectfully disagree on that part, but he gave me so much more to work towards. You see, there's an old proverb that says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And I've learned that if you want to learn from the old heads, sometimes it's going to be aggressive, challenging, and a bit uncomfortable, no different than a good coach on a team. But as you're going to see in part two of this interview, we got into the weeds a lot deeper on the topic of the rookie card. And overall, it was a great experience for both of us. I hope you enjoy and stick around after the interview for some bonus coverage. Enjoy. Hello, rookie card collecting friends. Victor, the rookie card specialist, here again with Uncle Rich Klein. This time, we're going to switch gears and switch topics with you. A man who needs no introduction in the hobby. He is a hobby goat, hobby legend to many. And last week we talked about the 10 Commandments of the rookie card and kind of Rich's outlook on the rookie card. And we're here today on the second topic of pre-war rookie cards. Rich, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. And I'll lead off with the funny story about pre-war.
Okay.
Near the end of my time at Beckett, we created a rookie card encyclopedia. And, for post-war cards, it works great. But because we only cherry-picked a few major pre-World War II sets. We cherry-picked a few World War II sets, and there was like T206, 33 Gaudy. Babe Ruth was listed as a rookie card for 33 Gaudy.
Mm-hmm.
It was only 20 years after his playing career began.
Right.
And there were other cases like that, and other people were more there was more understandable. That was the biggest thing. And there are a few cases in pre-war cards that it really is a rookie card. Ted Williams has 1939 cards. Pee Wee Reese has 1941 cards. Tris Speaker has a T206 card. That's all at the beginning of their careers. In fact, Williams and Reese are in their rookie years. DiMaggio is borderline calling. I think it's a 36 Gaudy premium. DiMaggio is real close to his rookie card. So there are players that are real close. But there are other players that are, their rookie card is far away from. And so people were saying, you guys don't know what you're doing. But in retrospect, it brought up a great discussion. What is a pre-war rookie card? And, because you can say what you want for a pre-war rookie card. But here's the thing. It really becomes an individual subject. Post-war is pretty much cut and dry to a large extent. What year is a player? But I know there was some debate whether 47 Tip Top was a rookie card before 48, because back, in the 70s when Dr. Beckett started his price guides, Tip Tops were heavily traded in those days. And there were some people who had Tip Top cards before they had, Tops and Bowman cards.
Okay.
So really it's 47, 48 on up is pretty much standardized.
Right.
But the pre-war stuff is not standardized.
No.
And I think, you wanting to really create bound rules for it, it's not going to happen. There's a few cards, it would be the exception to the rule. The 41 play ball, Pee Wee Reese, that's a rookie card. The 39 play ball, Ted Williams, that's a rookie card. You want to call Tris Speaker T206 a rookie card? Go right ahead. You know,
Yeah.
there are a few cards where you can just say, we will make these exceptions to the rules and call these people rookie cards of high level Hall of Famers.
Because the product was more mainstream, right?
Right, because the
Yeah.
products are more mainstream. There are other players that, Ty Cobb, you can almost make the argument that, okay, T206 is close enough to the beginning of his career. Let's make the T206s rookies. He's got a few cards before that, but nothing really, nothing mainstream, and it's close to the beginning of his career. You can argue that one.
Right.
But you can't make the same argument for John J. McGraw. You really, Christy Mathewson's career was 10 years along the way. Walter Johnson, you could probably say, okay, that's borderline close enough. And then Gowdy, Rogers Hornsby comes up in 1914. I believe he's got a Gowdy card along the way. Again, that's 20 years after his career begins. Do you really want to call a card like that a rookie card? So I almost think you could do case by case basis and make an argument that a few people pre-World War II, yeah, we'll call those rookie cards. But you can't quite have the same hard and fast rules that even we tried in the Beck Encyclopedia of Rookie Cards, which was a lot of fun. I mean, we discovered a lot of fun things doing that.
Yeah.
But it's not. I think the rules are very different for pre-war.
100%, spot on. When you go looking back and you have our rookie card guidelines, even from the 80s, and you say, well, I mean, they weren't licensed. A lot of them were photographers making these cards in their basement, and there's just the complexity of identifying rookie cards.
Well,
and then you have the rarity of it.
Licensed, but the players were getting paid.
The rarity of them,
Right, but the players especially on the mainstream sets, they were getting some money. Players were getting money in those days.
Yeah.
One of the stories is that the reason Wagner wanted his card pulled from T206, they weren't paying him enough money.
Right.
So they were getting money.
Yeah.
It may not have been a lot of money, but they were getting money for those cards.
Right.
And they were issued with enough mass, the T206 set is issued with a lot of distribution, because around 1910 is when some of the monopolies around tobacco end. And so tobacco companies are really trying to sell product, which is why there's such a boom in tobacco cards around 1910. And then 33 Gowdy, even though it's during the Depression, they figured most people could afford a penny. You buy it, and then they even held back card number 106, trying to induce kids of those eras to buy more packs. Marketing, and that wasn't the first time either. You don't put a card into a pack. You don't make card number 106. You want everybody to chase it. The next year, the people who really complained got sent these Nap Lajoie cards, in an envelope. Right. It was paperclip to the letter. You could see a Lajoie with a paperclip indentation. That's probably the real paperclip.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And distribution too. The regional. There's so much complexity in pre-war that it's just impossible to identify. I like what you said there. It's like a case by case basis, right? You have to consider every specific card, but to have like a blanket rule, it's not going to happen. Pre-war is truly the Wild Wild West.
It must drive you crazy as somebody who wants structure to look at pre-war and throw up your hands.
I don't, Rich. I can't with pre-war. I really, I just can't. There's just too many.
But just buy the few cards that are truer to the subject. Just buy the 41 play ball Reese and the 39 Williams, and if you're comfortable with a Speaker T206 and things like that, just buy the ones you're comfortable. And Cracker Jack was very heavily made in 14 and 15. So if you've got a Cracker Jack card of a player, you can include those. Just buy the ones you're comfortable with, and don't worry about everything else.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the strip cards of the 20s, and exhibit cards were popular, but they were oversized, and who wants to deal with oversized cards? So don't worry about a Gehrig exhibit or anything like that either.
Yeah. No, I have not. I I tried to get into the pre-war when I came back into the hobby in 2014. But I found out that I can't afford that wheelhouse. So I had to find interest elsewhere. It's pricey, and the rarity and is especially with the stuff that I like. I like rookie cards of Hall of Famers, and when you go in that aisle in pre-war, you better have some pretty deep pockets.
Yeah, they're good. They're all those cards are good coin that I brought up. You could probably buy a cheaper player here or there. A 41 play ball and Brancato would probably be a fun rookie card to own, and
Yeah,
that wouldn't cost you a ton of money. And then you could say I own a pre-war rookie card and it cost me $15-$20, and there you go. That sounds good.
yeah. Well, I also wanted to talk to you about an article that you wrote. You wrote it on May 17th, 2013 for Sports Collectors Daily. And the title of that article was Debate Over Licensing and Rookie Cards Goes Back a While. All right. In the article, you agreed 100% with ComC's decision about not accepting unlicensed cards into their database. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Well, and it's funny because I've actually evolved that I'm now a fan of we could take them. I mean, personally, I would not mind taking them with the very strict thing. These are not licensed cards. They will never be licensed cards. They're never going to have a value. You are buying them not licensed. But on a corporate level, I understand 100%. You don't want to even touch that slippery slope. It's not licensed. We don't take it. We still don't take it. And on a corporate level, I'm 100% behind that decision. Even though I might have my own opinion and I might say, I wouldn't mind taking a Broder card because some of them were beautiful and ahead of their time.
Yeah.
I understand the decision 100%. You don't take an unlicensed card. You don't deal with it. There's a couple borderline cases I might be a little more liberal, like some of the stuff Krause and their publications did in the 80s and 90s with their cards. You can argue they really weren't. They were also a lot of editorial content in those magazines, and you can argue the cards were along for the ride. That's about the borderline it is, but I can understand and agree with that decision. So, on a corporate level, it's not my place to say, hey, you guys are wrong. I accept that. And I think it's a really good decision on a corporate level. This is long before I went to work at ComC. And I agreed with that decision. I think it was at the time spot on. You don't want to go there, because then, if somebody has thousands of cards, they can flood you with thousands of unlicensed cards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to stop before you ever get there than getting there.
Yeah. And then you open up the door to, there's a lot of custom cards that are being done today too. And beautiful work, don't get me wrong, but unlicensed nonetheless. And
right. And I'm going to say, and I'll point out, I have a good hobby friend of mine, Tanner Jones. He's written a wonderful book about his adventures in the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And Tanner makes custom cards. We could not accept a custom card. However, if it's a cut autograph on the custom card and a JSA or a PSA DNA or a Beckett accepts the autograph, that actually is more important than the fact that it's a custom card. And you could probably accept it because then it's an autograph, then it's a certified autograph card from a third party. So there's certain things you can do. Yeah. But in terms of just his custom card, beautiful as they are and as wonderful work as he does, you really can't accept that.
In a ComC platform.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with. Yeah.
And so that's perfectly fine. I know the other day we were having a discussion about a company called ACEO, which makes really nice cards. We can't accept anything with ACEO, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And they do good work, but it's not something we can accept at this time. Maybe someday the rule changes. Things happen.
Sure.
But I like the rule the way it was at the time, and there's no real reason to change it. And while there may be little nibbles that on a major corporate level, I am 100% behind it.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to also, I know in the article you had made mention of uh, Upper Deck coming out with their updated set in 1990 was like 100 card traded set. You remember that one?
Yeah,
Uh,
and they did it in '89 too. And that
yeah,
was we were talking about that in the other episode.
yeah,
All of a sudden, the separate high number set that made it so easy to say, okay, if you're a traded card, we don't have to make you a rookie card. You can be an XRC. All of a sudden, the rookie cards, in '89, you have Jerome Walton, Dwight Smith, Jim Abbott. They're all they're all in that. They all have their rookie cards in '89 Upper Deck high number. '90 has some players too. '91 has Jeff Bagwell among others. And all these cards are interspersed with the low number packs. How they're generally available to everybody. How can you not call them rookie cards?
right.
And remember I said how that starts a spiral?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant by the card companies kept looking for ways to nibble away at the Beckett definition of a rookie card. It was like whack-a-mole. Okay, let's do this. Okay, the card company would then do that. And
Yeah.
they're trying to increase their sales by getting more rookie cards or having cards as rookie cards.
Yeah.
And I'm okay by that.
And I know in the article you had made mention, you said after some spirited internal discussion, we ended up switching our definition to cards issued during the player's rookie year. And that was that's interesting because there I feel like you guys were ahead of your time in that aspect. Uh, um, but I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall on the spirited internal
Oh,
discussions.
they were spirited. I mean, we didn't yell and scream, but I mean, it was spirited. It was not,
Right.
there were people with strong opinions. I told you about our late friend Mike Hirsch. Make them all rookie cards.
Yeah.
You know,
What was the hobby atmosphere with these situations like this? Was it?
there were some people who wanted them to be rookie cards, and there were other people who didn't. That's why there was such a spirited discussion,
Okay.
because we were spearheading the discussion, but we
Mhm.
also knew the ramifications. If you look at Dr. Beckett's first magazines,
Mhm.
if you've ever seen copies, I know that he reprinted issue number 1 in like 2004. So there are reprint copies of the first issue, so that you can see the first issue. There are cards that say RC question mark next to them.
Right.
We knew. I mean, that was always a question. So, and at the time,
Explain that for those in the audience who don't know, Rich. Explain that RC question mark.
because the Jim was getting input. Dr. Jim was getting input from collectors and dealers about what a rookie card should be. He wasn't just going to make a decision on his own. He was going to have input. Eventually, he'd have to make the decision, but he wanted the decision to be something he thought about, something the collectors and dealers of the time thought about, and voiced their opinion. As such, it was RC question mark until he made that decision a few issues later.
Yeah. 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 I that was interesting, and I think he was not the question mark was on the that he was trying to get feedback. He was trying to feel people out with that to see what the buzz would turn into with that question mark. I like anymore today for me the way I view it on like the XRC with the 83, 84 Daryl Strawberry per se. I just call both years asterisk RC. And to me, in my eyes, it's more like it's a debatable rookie card, right? If we look at hobby history, it's one of them things that are debatable. And instead of XRC, I put asterisk RC for both, and that just helps me in my head to better understand the situation because it was a situation.
Yeah, and so we understood, in 1990, in the 90s, we are selling nearly 1 million copies of Baseball Monthly each month. We're selling lots of copies of football, basketball, and hockey. Almost every store had a Beckett of it, behind the counter. They used the price card. You go to a show, could you look it up in the book for me? because I didn't know all the prices.
Yeah.
And it was the universal way of look. Nowadays you look it up and you use the word comps. In those days, the comp was looking it up at the Beckett, and if a player was having a good year, maybe you raise the price. If a player's having a bad year, you lower the price. Kevin Moss by 1991 was starting to become a common real quickly.
Yeah.
But Ken Griffey Jr. kept moving up.
Right.
His first few years, the 89 Upper Deck kept moving up because he was doing so well. So, the market, it was never a perfect price guide. If it was a perfect price guide, why do it again the next month?
Right.
It was a snapshot in time. And the rookie card definitions were a snapshot in time. And the reason it was spirit is we understood the importance of what we were doing to the hobby.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't make decisions lightly.
Right.
And, we had a very talented price guide staff at that time.
Yeah.
And so we had people from throughout the country who knew what they were doing. And a lot of us were strong-willed.
Yeah. Yeah. A little stubborn, you mean?
I'll use the word strong-willed. Stubborn. Okay. Stubborn may be a little too strong.
What's your take on? I don't know. We're just spitballing here now, but the 1960 Carl Yastrzemski.
That's a rookie card, and I'm okay with this. If people want, nobody calls the 61 Yastrzemski a rookie card, even though it says rookie on it. Nobody calls it a rookie card, right. But it's a fun card.
Yeah.
But I think everybody calls the 60 Yaz a rookie card.
Now, was that the determination? All right, Dr. Beckett made the final determination, but was
the hobby made the final determination? I was
going to say, was that
the 61 was a rookie card? It would be priced the same as the 60.
Yeah. So that was like the overall hobby consensus at the time, was that it was the 60.
Look, Lou Piniella has a rookie card in 64 tops. He has a rookie card in 68 tops. He has a rookie card in 69 tops. The 64 is his rookie card.
Yeah.
68 and 9 have nowhere near the value of the 64 card.
Right.
And that happens throughout time.
Yeah.
Gaylord Perry has a 62 tops rookie card by himself, then he has a 4-player rookie card in 63.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Niekro, he has a 2-player rookie card in 64 and 65. The second year, he's with a decent pitcher, but not a great pitcher. Yeah. He's got 2 rookie cards. And the 64 is a high number, and the 65 is a reasonably tough semi-high, but the 64 is the rookie card. So, even for these players with more than one rookie card that ended up in the Hall of Fame, it's still one rookie. And Piniella's not a Hall of Famer, but he became famous. So the first rookie card became the rookie card, and that's fine.
Yeah. No, and I've been cautious because a lot of people want to, question, well, they'll take like today's guidelines that the PA released in 2006, and they want to look back, and they want the presumption is made that Beckett got it wrong. And I'm one to where, hey, no, we can't do that, because that's not how this works. We can't take current guidelines and look back and say they got it wrong. Those were tough decisions that had to be made at the time, and you guys made them. And you guys,
actually, the cards you mentioned, we're talking about, they're easy decisions. The tougher decision is somebody like Chu Freeman.
What's the story behind that?
Who's a 1999 Topps traded card, and he makes his major league debut in 2006. It took a while to cycle through. So, was his 2006 card his rookie card, or was it his 1999 Topps? He was the furthest player I remember at the time. There were a lot of guys with 2005 and 2006.
Right.
The year of the transition.
Right.
And I think Beckett at the time, we used an RC in parentheses to indicate, there was a rookie card previously, because you can't really change history.
Right.
You may like to, but you can't change history.
Right.
And the reason, we didn't spitball on this on the first hour, but one of the reasons is you have somebody like Mariano Rivera. Mm-hmm. His 1992 Bowman rookie card, and is well accepted as his rookie card. He's in street clothes. Right. He's looks like he's lounging around, on a street corner. But he really doesn't become a major leaguer to 95, 96.
Right.
And that was the other thing. We talked about Ichiro and Pujols. That was the other thing the Players Association, and rightly so, was objecting to, because the other card companies were saying this gives Topps way too much of an advantage. They put a player in that as a Bowman rookie card in 1993. He shows up in 1997.
Right.
The current year product, we can't sell the 97 card with the player as a rookie because their rookie card is 93.
Right.
So
Right.
you want to sell more products the year of issue. And I'm okay. Again, this is why I'm okay with that. This is a business.
Yeah.
I know we want to sometimes put everything into neat little holes, but it's a business.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, and I thought that was a great move too, right? It's got to be the year that he debuted into the league, but
or the next year. Like if you come up on September 1st, we're not going to get
right.
you into
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The original thing was September 1st. The first year was September 1st. If you come up before September 1st, we can get you into this year's sets. If you're a September call up and you don't come up till after the September call ups, begin your next year's set.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's eventually been stretched out a little, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because you are trying to get the players in their rookie years or close to their rookie year. What you don't want is, we'll call him Anthony Volpe, even though he's not doing great for the Yankees. What you don't want is Anthony Volpe in 2023 having a 2021 Bowman rookie card, and then people looking for his 2023 rookie card. I know he's a bad example because he's not really doing well on the field right now, but I'm using it as a name if he was doing well. Corbin Carroll with the Diamondbacks would be the better example. You don't want Corbin Carroll to have a 2021 Bowman rookie card, and 2 years later he's going to be rookie of the year, or he looks like he's well on his way. You don't want that. You want the rookie of the year to, hey, 2023, right. I want people buying their packs to get Corbin Carroll cards in his rookie season.
Right.
He's going to be rookie of the year. That may help juice sales of the packs. That's what we all want, because the more packs we sell and the more cards we sell on Topps Now or Panini Instant, the more we do all that, the more money we make. And the more money we make, it's better for, more money for you and me.
And I respect the fact what they did with like the Bowman brand, okay, post 2006.
Right.
They're not, they only have one license. They're not fully licensed, but they don't have the rookie card shield because legally they can't have the rookie card shield because they're prospects. And I love that. To me, that's an intelligent move. But, in the hobby, there's a sect within the hobby that says the Bowmans are the rookie card. And to me, that's like the disconnect where the waters get muddied.
Well, the reason for that is for 15 years, the Bowmans were the rookie card. So there are also a generation of collectors that grew up with Bowman being the rookie card.
Home of the rookie card.
Your 92 Mariano Rivera is the rookie card. Right. There's a Fleer update too, but your 92 Bowman Mike Piazza is a rookie card.
Yeah.
So there's a generation. 91 Bowman Chipper Jones is a sneaky, tough card to get.
Yeah.
And they had other prospects. 89 Bowman, they had a bunch of prospects, a lot of whom obviously never made the majors. You have people like the late Johnny Yard and Austin Manahan and people like that.
Yeah.
But they were high draft picks and they didn't pan out. But if somebody had panned out in that group, that would have been their rookie card. And that's okay. It really was okay. It was the rules of the time. As long as you're abiding by the rules of the time, it's okay. All right. So let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
You like everything to be nice and structured. What was the tipping point that made you decide that defining what a rookie card should be was going to be your lifetime work in the hobby?
The tipping point for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I collected between 1981 and 2004, and I had grown up the Beckett way. But I left the hobby in 2004, and I came back in 2014. So
there was a lot of changes in those 10 years.
Oh, yes, there was. So I come back, and I'm a Cubs fan. So Cubs were playing hot in 2014. And I wanted to get rookie cards of Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, that sort of thing. So I go shopping on eBay, and I look, and there's 3 or 4 years on eBay listings, everything saying that it's a rookie card. And for every single ball player I looked up, it was that way. Francisco Lindor was another one that I was pursuing. And I'm like, how in the heck can somebody have 4 or 5 years worth of rookie cards? I remember the way it was, but what the heck has happened? And then I noticed the RC logo on some cards. And I started digging into that. What is this RC logo thing about? And that's really what triggered it. And it turned into a rabbit hole, Rich, to be honest with you.
So you left the hobby a year or two before the whole change of the rookie card. So if you had hung out for about 3 more years, you would have caught that and understood what happened.
Yeah.
You had to start with a totally different world.
Yeah. It was different.
Was there anything else you found different 10 years later? Because I think 2004 to 14 is a big 10-year switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, did you find the pricing different? Did you find the autograph and relic world different? Did you find how you were buying cards any different?
Yeah. The other big difference for me was breaking. That was completely foreign to me. And that's where I spent my first 18 months back into the hobby, was in breaks, and quickly learned that genre of the hobby, and quickly learned that I'm spending a lot of money doing this thing. So I backed off.
I'm a big fan of break. You're a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Breaking done right.
Right.
And if you're buying the Cubs and you know what you're doing, is fine.
Yeah.
Especially in those eras, because you're buying the players, we'll say, going on the up escalator.
Mm-hmm.
Your Bryants, your Javi Baez's, your Rizzos, all those guys were going on the up escalator.
Yeah.
So you were doing okay.
Yeah. But what I found, Rich, was, to be honest with you, was that the hobby had like forsaken the structure that we had in the 80s and 90s. It had like completely gotten away from it. There was like a lot of people that didn't even know that we had rookie card guidelines, that we had definitions of rookie cards. And it was just like completely forsaken, I guess, is my best way to explain it.
And a lot of things have changed that way.
Yeah.
With the growth of the internet, you can look up stuff on your smartphone. A lot of the old school methods of doing things, like getting the newspaper delivered to you instead of looking at the news on your smartphone or on a computer screen.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's something fun about reading news, newsprint, but it's bulky. It's so much easier to watch, read the news on a computer screen. It may not make the newspapers as much money, but it's easier to read. You're not getting newsprint on your hands.
Right.
And so a lot of this has changed. And as I said, if you had hung out 2 years, you would have seen the rookie card change.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. But 2004 to 14 is an interesting time to leave, because you also, when you came back, Upper Deck was gone.
Yep.
And in a sense, Don Russleaf Playoff, now known as Panini, was back.
That was a big change for me too. Just the whole restructuring of the companies was wow.
Right. So you had a totally different world you came back to.
Yeah.
And it's a very different world. And at least in Texas, we didn't have a lot of. I started my show in 2014. We did not have a lot of shows in those days.
Yeah.
And the hobby has grown, and now we have that Kyle's 700 table show 6 times a year, and it's a wonderful show. I don't, honestly, if I didn't want to go to the national, I'm doing just fine at Kyle's show. I don't need to go to a national, other than I would like to see people like you.
Yeah. And
but to be honest, I got a mini national 6 times a year.
Yeah, you do, with the Dallas. Great show. I went 1 year.
I remember Jim was that one of the times Jim did his
hosted the luncheon. Yeah. I think that was 2021.
Yeah.
But Rich, and a lot of it was I went searching for answers, and and unfortunately, I didn't find many, and that's what really inspired me to really keep digging. And I just I don't know. It was one of them things where uh, the more I dug into it, the more questions started to pop in my head, and I wanted something to give me some structure. I wanted something that would help me understand what happened, and I couldn't find anything. So I went researching, and I started a website, and I started writing articles, and that became my platform on my just recording my findings, and that really is how it all started. And then I started a YouTube channel, and I started to realize that there's a lot of people out there that were kind of lost and confused about the same situation that I was under. They didn't understand the whole rookie card thing, and so that's when I started getting a lot more serious with it.
Victor, I have this mental picture of you being Diogenes of the rookie card world.
What is that?
Diogenes, you never heard Diogenes carried his lamp looking for the last honest man. Look it up sometime. You're the Diogenes of the rookie card world.
Okay. I'll look that up. The Diogenes.
Look that up.
All right. And I know it's a daunting task, right? But I tell you, I think the feedback that I'm getting is, 99% positive, and I will have some people that will oppose, and I get it. I understand. A lot of people, when it comes to the rookie card, we have drawn certain lines in the sand. We've made our mountain, and we stand on our mountain, and I understand. I get it. I was there. I was one of them. I'm coming to realize that we've got a lot of mindsets and a lot of different ways of doing things, and that's great. And if everything's a rookie card, that's fine too. I just want somebody in an official role, like the Players Association, to say, hey, everything's a rookie card, and let's just move on then.
Well, let's see what happens. Things always evolve.
Yeah.
And just remember, we don't know if things are evolving on the fly. And the minute somebody comes up with a definition, somebody will come up with a way to work around that definition.
Right. You're right. And that's how come the changes, in my opinion, have to come from the PA, because the PA is the legal authority, and they're the only ones that are going to have the authorization to keep the card manufacturers accountable. And that's the only way this happens.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see you in the National in a few weeks, and
yeah,
we'll discuss this further.
All right, it'll be fun. Can't wait to see you guys in person. And yeah. Well, Rich, we'll end this one here. I appreciate you and appreciate you coming on. I really do. It's great to get to know you a little bit more. I don't think you and I have ever officially had like one of these sessions, but we got it in the books, man.
No, we never did. So this was good to have. So thank you for having me on. And we will do this sometime in the future. And you and I will probably be on the hobby hotline during the National.
Pretty soon. Yep. All right, folks, that's going to be it for this one. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Well, I promised Rich that I would do my homework on Diogenes. Diogenes was a Greek philosopher. He was also known as Diogenes of Sinope, which is a town in Turkey, but his street name was Diogenes the Cynic. He was known as a controversial figure and was banished from Sinope for allegations of reducing the quality of currency. But it hasn't been proven it was either him or his father who actually worked at a bank. Since he was banned, he went ahead and moved to Athens, where he proceeded to criticize many practices of that day. Eventually, he was captured by pirates and sold into slavery, but eventually settled in Corinth. There, Diogenes was known for having mocked Alexander the Great, both in public and to his face when he visited Corinth. While in Corinth, he passed his philosophy of cynicism to Crates, who taught it to Zeno of Citium, who passed it on to the school of Stoicism, which is one of the four major schools of thought. He passed away on 323 BC in Corinth, Greece. He used his simple lifestyle and behavior to criticize the social values of what he saw as a corrupt confused society. He became known for his philosophical stunts, such as carrying a lamp during the day, claiming to be looking for an honest man.